Do it again, do it again.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of The Other People. I am your host, as usual, Mr. Jordan Royter. Joining me, as always, is my good friend, Andy.
Yo.
And it's a fairly early Sunday for me. I stayed up much too late last night. Actually, not much later than I usually stay up, and it's not like I was doing anything overly productive, like I normally might, might be. In this case, I was just having way too many conversations in my head about, I'd love to do this. I would really want to do this. And shut the fuck up and go to sleep. It's after 4 a.m. But thankfully, I didn't have to be up and around or anything today, so I didn't have any major responsibilities today. Other than the fact that, so for the longest time now, I have wanted to make this particular type of music video that I just finished doing.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the Final Fantasy Spirits Within movie?
Yeah.
That whole dream sequence scene, like the entirety of it.
Yeah.
On the DVD, there is a special feature on there where it's just the dream sequence. And so a long time ago, like many years ago, there's this CD that I have. It's called Third Eye Open. It's a violin tribute to my favorite band, Tool.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a version of The Grudge on there, one of their songs. And I just happened to be playing the song while I was watching the dream sequence on Final Fantasy Spirits Within. And it just fit so perfectly together.
Mm-hmm.
And so for the longest time I thought, I would love to do like a music video using that. And so finally the other day I sat down and I said, why don't you do that now? I mean, you got the movie, you got all the hookups that you need to capture all the video from your PlayStation 3. You have an editor, and you can import the song from your iTunes over to your editor, and you can just do it. Yeah, you'd have to do a little bit of editing, but not that much. And so I sat my ass down and I did it, and I got it all finished and all synced up yesterday. The only real question was can I post this to YouTube without it getting flagged or blocked or anything like that?
Well, let's find out, shall we?
I actually just found out about nearly an hour ago. I posted it. Everything seemed fine. Got what looked like a third-party claim, though it also said that this is blocked worldwide. I acknowledged the claim that it was third-party usage, both. And I gave like full credit in the description video that I'm using this song and I'm using this video, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it said that, third-party claim was acknowledged. It wasn't saying that the video was blocked. I could still view it. I was able to share it on both my Facebook and my Twitter. I just don't know if anybody else can actually see it or view it or watch it or anything like that. It's not listed on my main page except when I go into my video manager. So it's still fictitiously there. I just don't know if anybody can actually watch it. So, and my friend QuickKick was again nice enough to do up a pretty damn cool piece of cover art for it. So I just don't know if anybody can actually watch it, which is kind of disappointing, because this is like, I want to do this for a long time. Now it's here and nobody can watch it. Fuck. Oh well. It's like the same thing. The very first time I ever did a movie review. The very first time I ever did that, which was like 3 days of hard work, video capture and editing, and then video shooting and audio recording and editing. And then I got it all done and posted to YouTube, and it was immediately blocked. And I was like, fuck. God damn it. And I actually had somebody on my YouTube page who commented asking, hey, so do you still have the video? Because if you do, you could send it to me, and I can totally post this so that anybody can watch it. But by then, I had already deleted it. So, oh well. But I have since then kind of learned, like, well, if you edit a video that uses movie clips down enough, you can post it to YouTube. Like, for instance, when I reposted, well, I didn't repost, but when I posted up the extended version of our theme song, that did get flagged for third-party claim. The video is still viewable and everything by everybody. It's just that I realized, like, oh, okay, so because I used an extra 20 seconds of the song, it then gets flagged. And bear in mind, this is an old-ass song, too. I forget exactly. Okay, so for those people who don't know, or who may not know or might not care, I did have actually one person comment saying that they actually really love the idea that I use a Frank Zappa song as our theme. But, okay, so our theme song is basically a Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention song called The Mother People. But because the song basically sounds like he's, well, actually when you go through the lyrics, he's literally saying, we are the other people. And for the longest time, because originally the twins, we wanted to do a comedy show together called The Other People. And, well, for nobodies from Boise, Idaho, that wasn't exactly ever really going to happen. But now that I have all this video tech programming, very little know-how, but I know how to do it and I know how to post it, I figured, well, we could do a podcast with that name. And since I was the one who did actually come up with the original name for it, so why not? And it works perfectly. So, not that anybody else really cares, but hey.
We care. That's all that matters.
Exactly. So, and other than that, so that was kind of my weekend. Well, and that and working and all that other good stuff and trying to resolve my problems with fraps that I'm still having, that I thought I had resolved. And then the other day I tried to record and everything seemed fine. And then I had the slowdown effect bullshit happen again. So it's not fully resolved. So I don't know what the hell I'm going to do aside from still not recording any PC games. But I can still record my console stuff. But I really want to record my PC stuff because I was really loving the idea of being able to record some Hearthstone matches. But that's not going to happen for a while either. Other than that, what's been going on with you? Would you like to retell your RoboCop story?
Nah, not really.
Oh, come on. It's a good one.
Yeah. So, a few weeks ago, I saw on this movie magazine booklet where you can order DVDs and Blu-rays and whatnot that they had RoboCop DVD. For sale for $15. And I was like, yay, I love RoboCop. So I decided to order it. Well, as it turns out, what I had ordered was the Blu-ray. They didn't have the DVD.
Yeah.
So I got here, and I'm not going to be able to get a PlayStation 4, which has a Blu-ray player in it, for another 2 to 3 years. So it's going to be 2 to 3 years before I can watch this thing.
Yeah. What's probably the cheapest that a PlayStation 3 is going for where you are?
I have no idea, and quite frankly, I don't have that much interest in a PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, but I don't.
Yeah, just not as much as you do with your...
with the PlayStation 4 out, if I'm going to go that route, I might as well just get the PlayStation 4.
Yeah. That does kind of make a little bit more sense. Kind of, yeah. Yeah. You will just have to wait a little bit longer though for it. So.
Yeah, because by that time we'll have paid off all our credit cards.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
And like another 2 years after that, we should be completely debt free.
Yeah. It's nice to be to not have to owe anybody any money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Grandpa.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, and as for reference, my grandpa died like last year and like left us a shitload of money.
I was actually about to ask if you wanted to keep that private, but too late. It's on the air now.
Might as well have it. Might as well have it out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not that the money's any replacement for him. For anybody who's thinking I'm just interested in the money, it's not that. It's just that it came when we really needed it.
Right. Yeah. 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 I thought you were saying that when he died, that he shifted like all of his debt claims onto you or something like that.
Oh, no. We were one part of the family that got some money, and Grandpa apparently had a ton of money, more so than anybody suspected.
Right.
I think each one of the relatives got over $100,000.
Damn.
Yeah. And we could have gotten more, but yeah, I'm going to keep that part private.
Well, yeah. Yeah, because I imagine with everything that has happened, and I'm not going to go into details or anything like that. I imagine that there was a lot of owed money involved, especially.
No, there wasn't so much owed money as my aunt, who was in charge of the estate, didn't. If Munner had been in charge, he would have done it a bit differently. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and other than that, let's try to move on to something a little bit more positive and not so personal. Because this show is meant to be entertaining and uplifting and maybe kind of funny from time to time, or maybe even informative. Who knows?
And not depressing.
Yes. I can do that just fine on my own. God damn it. I'm a failure. So the other night, and of course this is the internet. So it's always funny what you can find on the internet. Somebody posted like some odd amount of clips from the Drew Carey version of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Where it was just uncensored, where it was just like an hour's worth of fuck-ups. Whether it was some bad introductions, Ryan Stiles getting a little fed up with how, like, I don't want to do another goddamn hoedown. I really don't. If we do one more hoedown, I'm going to slit my fucking wrists. And
I can understand that.
And that's him actually singing that for the hoedown, which just made it just even funnier. And then just the massive amounts of dick jokes and and just shit that they can't use because of censorship and such. And it was pretty goddamn funny.
Yeah,
it was like, why couldn't this be the show?
Because that would require them to actually be on HBO instead of network.
Yeah. What network was that on?
I think it was on NBC or CBS. I'm not entirely sure.
I think it might have been CBS, or maybe even ABC. I'm not sure. God, that was a long time ago, too.
Yeah, it was.
Long-ass time ago. I think Drew Carey is still doing the Who's... No, I'm sorry. What's that other game show that Bob Barker used to do?
The Price is Right.
Yeah. I think he's still doing that. I think. I'm not entirely sure.
I wouldn't know. I never had any interest in that many game shows.
Yeah, me Me either, really. I mean, I seem to lose more interest in television as every day goes by. Of course, it doesn't help that every time I walk through the door, my grandmother, and yes, I live with my grandmother. I'm 32 years old. I don't give a fuck. My life is already kind of fucked at this point. Um, where every day I walk through the door, my grandmother always has the TV on. Hell, sometimes she'll have both her television in the living room and in her bedroom on. So many times I get one show in stereo, and it's either Dr. Phil, which is always just horribly fucking depressing, and or some Lifetime movie that she says that, oh, I'm not watching it. Then why do you have your TV on if you're not watching it? That's just a
for
waste
some
of
people,
electricity.
it's just a background noise.
Yeah, basically.
My dad used to do that all the time, especially on the car radio. Like, oh, I'm not really listening to it. It's like, well, then why do you have it on? Because I kind of need the background noise. Helps me concentrate.
I do not understand that. I mean, if I like to, have something on, it's going to be something that I like.
Yeah, well, he did like that style of music because he was kind of like us. He liked a lot of the rock and roll type stuff.
Yeah.
But most of the time, he didn't really listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just background noise to him.
Yeah. I mean, that would be like the equivalent of me having one of those really, really bad talk radio shows on, or hell, or like just a channel of just pure static, and nothing else, just because I just want the background noise.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll, this is kind of not really overly complicated or anything like that, but I mean, I always just find it so odd. I mean, if you're going to have something on, and at least for me, I mean, if I'm going to have something on, and maybe this obviously speaks to the kind of person that I am, if I'm going to have something on, be it a video or something in the background, it's going to be something I just like, be it, a type of music, or maybe something that I do, regularly watch, so that I can relax or hell, or like while I'm trying to work on or edit a project, if I need to take my mind off of it, I'll, stop working on that and I'll go and I'll watch said video, that I'm at least getting some enjoyment out of, and that is helping, to take my mind off of, God fucking damn it, this piece of shit editor just will not work. It has crashed 3 damn times now. I'm just going to take a quick little break, and I'm going to watch this video, and it'll put a smile on my face and help, take my mind off of this bullshit that I'm trying to work on. So, the only time I ever find trying to listen to any kind of music or anything like that is like when I'm really, really sick. Like I can recall a few times where I would be driving home from work and I would just feel horrible. I would just feel sick to my stomach or anything like that, and having maybe some soft music playing would kind of help from time to time. But if it was anything more than that, it would, it would just make you feel worse. Yeah, I mean that's like the closest thing that I can relate that to.
I totally understand.
Yeah. I don't know. It's always just kind of awkward to me how other people. Cue card.
How other people do shit.
Yeah. Or maybe I should say how quote unquote normal people do. But then again.
What the hell is normal anyway? It's overrated.
Yeah. It's always better to be different, or at least to, I don't know, have some form of individuality.
And quite frankly, it's kind of my belief, nobody's really normal.
Yeah.
They just kind of seem that way.
Yeah.
But if you got inside their head, you would find out that most people are pretty fucked up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell, you remember that church experience that I told you about that I had?
Oh,
right?
yeah. I remember it.
Okay, so this is a pretty good story. Some odd years ago, I was working at this little Mexican restaurant here in Boise, and
Mm-hmm.
and we had this cook who I kind of knew. We were kind of friends, but not really. He was really religious, overly religious. Like he was the kind of guy who would go on long stories about how his life was changed and his life was saved by Jesus and by God, and he's one of those kind of guys. Uh, he
Have
seemed
you
okay.
found Jesus yet?
He
You need to
seemed
find Jesus.
he seemed pretty cool if you would talk about anything else that wasn't religion. Like if you would talk about music, or movies, he was quite knowledgeable. And it was
Mm-hmm.
actually really kind of cool to hear him go on long speeches and stories about Johnny Cash, or something like that. But the
Mm-hmm.
minute he starts talking about God, it's like, oh Jesus Christ, really? Like, you need to go to church and blah blah blah, blah, because my life was saved and da da da. It's like, and I'm gonna save you. And da, 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 da. It's like, whatever. And he
First of
kept
all,
on,
I don't want you to save me. I'm perfectly happy the way I am.
yeah. And he kept on nagging me about, he wanted me to go to his church. And he kept on talking about how his church was different. His church was not the typical church. It was a gathering of different types of people. I forget what it was actually called, or like what particular sect or whatever. I don't care for that matter. I mean, religion is not really my thing. I mean, it's perfectly okay if you have it, as long as if you're not an ass about it. And he was
Now,
an ass
like
about
me,
it.
I actually have it, but I'm not preachy about it.
Yeah. And well, he was kind of an ass about it, and that was one aspect that really, really bothered me. I mean, just the fact that he kept on telling me that, oh, well, I'm going to save you, because your life needs to be saved. And am I in a gutter? Am I? Am I? Am I utterly in debt? Have I ruined my relationship with my family and friends? Have I come down to a point where I am shooting heroin directly into my penis and selling my body for money and drugs? No, then I really don't think I need any of your saving. I think I'm perfectly fine where I am right now. Thank you
Yeah, but
very
there's
much.
some extreme religious people that basically think everybody needs to be saved, and if they're not, then they're going to force them to be,
Yeah.
which goes completely against church doctrine because they want people to come in there willingly, not be forced to.
Yeah. And so, anyway, he kept on bugging me about how he wanted me to go to his church. And over and over and over again until finally he said, all right, look, I'll tell you what. If you agree to go to church with me once, I will never bother you about it again. And so
You agreed.
I hesitantly agreed and said, all right, fine, I'll go, but just this one time. And I went, and I have been to a few churches, never really, for typical Sunday. Of course, I don't know what a typical Sunday church going is like. I imagine you have somebody who says a few prayers, maybe there's a couple of songs, and then that's probably it.
That's about it. It's like there's a couple of prayers, a couple of announcements to it. The preacher does his preaching.
Mm-hmm.
A few more prayers, and a fellowship, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah. My
Everybody goes
mom.
home. At least that's how my church is, anyway.
Yeah. My mom, she got back into church going, I think, about a couple of years ago, also because she sings in the choir, and she has actually asked me a few times if I would ever like to go. And for me, it's like, Sunday's my one day off, and I like to sleep in. So, sorry.
Well, some churches have it at night, though.
Yeah, I mean...
Mine has two services. One for in the morning, right after Bible school.
Right.
And another at night.
Right.
Now, me and Munner, we typically go to the evening service, which starts at 6.
Right. Well, and, I mean, it's not my thing. I mean, I'm not interested.
And that's perfectly fine.
And maybe it's, well, I really do think it's the old cynic in me. I remember like the last few times that I've been to a few churches. I remember once for my stepbrother and my stepsister's graduation because they went to a religious school.
Mm-hmm.
Which I remember both my brother and sister saying that's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because I don't imagine a religious school works in the same manner as a normal school actually does. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that because I don't know a whole lot about it. So
anyway, you went.
yeah, I went and it was the weirdest, goddamn silliest thing I've ever seen. There was this woman who was wearing what looked like a white nightgown.
Uh-huh.
And she was standing in the corner. She's got these two flags, a white and a red flag. And all throughout, the music playing and the minister doing his many little speeches and his many little, I'm gonna call upon the glory, or anything like that. And
Very
he's a black man.
Yeah,
he wasn't. And just to clarify, he was a black man. He wasn't a white Southern man, or anything like that. And so, like, all throughout this woman is standing in this corner with these two weird flags, and she's, just kind of swaying them back and forth. And then the minister kept on babbling and just kind of repeating himself over and over and over again. Like, he would never really get to a point. He would just kind of repeat something again and again, and then say something else, and then again and again and again. And things got kind of sappy and, and really kind of silly. And the whole time in the back of my head, I'm thinking, don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. God damn it, don't laugh. I know this is funny to you, but it's going to be really rude if you start laughing. But it's so goddamn stupid. I can't take this shit seriously. What the fuck? This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, and then like near the end, the preacher, he starts getting like really excited, and the music is picking up, and somebody down in front, I think somebody who was a member of the band who was now sitting down when things started getting up, he got up and started, I don't want to say jazzercising, but that's the first word that comes into my head. Where
it looked like he was having a seizure here, folks.
yeah. It was like he kind of started dancing, but then it got really, really spastic, and he was, really going out of control to the point where the person sitting next to him had to kind of grab him, and he kind of fell onto the floor. And I remember
I'm having a seizure for Jesus now. Oh.
I remember I turned over to my friend and I said, "What the hell is he doing?" And to which he responded, "Oh, he's just feeling the spirit." And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, he's having a fucking seizure. God damn it! And so after that whole experience, I thought, yeah, I did that. I don't have to do it again.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was too fucking weird and just really stupid. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't start handing out snakes, for everybody to pass.
Yeah, as soon as they had something, it's like, and I'm out.
Yeah, well, and to be honest, if that did happen, I would have immediately gone, I'm out, I'm done, thank you, Take me home. I'm done. Thank you very much.
It's like, I don't want to be rude, but this has been weird as shit. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Did you ever have a weird, like, church-going experience or anything like that? I mean, that's the only one I can recall, but I've had others.
No, nothing weird. Although our former preacher was being somewhat of a hypocrite.
How so?
Oh, like, when my dad got sick, we'd get all kinds of money and other types of things, for gas and whatnot, from like all these other churches. We got maybe $100 from our own church, once.
Mm-hmm.
And yet we'll, like, go to, like, this other guy who's barely shows up at church at all every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
They gave him, like, over $2,000.
Wow.
Not once, but 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just kind of hypocritical.
So
we
wait,
want to
so-
help people, but only people we like.
Right. So was that his argument that he was making, or?
No, we didn't even ask him about that. We kind of quit going to the church after that for like a little while. Well, mostly because Dad was sick.
Yeah.
But now he's not preaching in there anymore, and one guy that we really do like, who Nate kicked out
Right.
there, he's back now. He's doing the preaching.
Okay.
Because our former preacher became senile.
Okay. Okay. All right, now, where am I?
And,
Sorry,
you know, he would like
apologize.
start like reading like one quote from the Bible, and as soon as he got done, he would start reading it again.
Oh. Yeah, that's pretty damn funny, actually.
Yeah, not so much because it made it kick. It was like he was like one of those who like talk for like over 2 hours about God.
Right. I'm gonna braille the word of God into your skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was really anti-gay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, it's
that
Kentucky.
kind of soured me on him right there.
Yeah. Well, and it's Kentucky, so you have to imagine that that's going to happen.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I have to like it.
Well, yeah. 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 I remember a while ago, I don't remember what started this conversation, but I know for like the longest time, apparently you thought that I was atheist, which,
no, I never thought you were atheist.
no, well,
At least I don't remember thinking that you were atheist.
Well, I just remember, like some time ago, because like for the longest time, I didn't really know what the meaning or what the difference between an atheist or an agnostic was.
Oh.
Because for the longest time, I just assumed that I was an atheist, and my stepfather told me, Jordan, you're not an atheist. Like, why not? Like, well, atheists believe or just know for a fact that there is no God, and they embrace that idea. You're really more of an agnostic. And I said, oh, well, what's an agnostic? And they said, well, agnostics are where they're not really sure whether or not there is a God.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
and they're really not so hardcore
like
about it.
We were talking about something, and I can't remember what it was, and I mentioned Penn and Teller. I think Teller said that there is no agnostic. You're either it's like you either believe in God or you don't. If you're not sure, that means you don't.
Yeah.
You're an atheist.
Yeah, which I'm sorry, I think it's kind of a bullshit argument to
I kind of,
be honest.
he was like on Attack of the Show one time, and
Yeah.
I think Kevin Pereira kind of somehow got in there because they were getting like all kinds of books and whatnot from religious people. And to his credit, he did say these are the nicest people in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't seriously trying to convert him or anything. They were like sending him Bibles and stuff, and like, you really should read this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and and
which
like
is perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, I mean that's always kind of the thing it seems about atheists is that they always seem to be what's the word I'm looking for? They're very forceful with their opinion.
Yeah.
More often than not, whereas yeah. Now, and granted, I mean, the only, overly religious person I've ever known was that guy who I was, just telling that story about.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, my mother, she's pretty religious, but she's not, hardcore about it. I know that you're religious, but you're not overly hardcore about it.
Yeah. Just to put this into perspective here, folks, most Christians and most people that have religion, regardless if it's Christianity, Muslim, Judaism, or what have you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Most of them aren't pushy about it.
Yeah.
It's just the ones that are extremely pushy. I mean, they'll like get up on national television and start saying, the entire world needs to find Jesus.
Yeah.
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 And if you don't find Jesus, you're going to go to hell.
Yeah. And it's usually the fact
and they
that
make the rest of us look nuts.
Yeah. And it's usually those type of people that are, always considered or just are the fundamentalists, the far right people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
like the guy who's in charge of the 700 Club when both 9/11 and Katrina happened. He basically said that was the God's
that was the wrath of God.
Yeah, for what did he put? Oh yeah, for letting the gays get a foothold.
So he decided to wait until now to punish us for that?
Apparently.
There's a bit of a slow reaction there, God. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of something like, yeah, go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah. And yeah, a lot of my...
I'm pretty sure even God was just like, dude.
Really?
Seriously?
Yeah, and I know a lot of the time, some of my problems, or really even many of my problems that come from my idea of religion, it does come from those people, and it's because they are so front and center all the time. Because they're always screaming about, look at me, I need attention, this is what I believe, this is what we believe.
They're just out
no,
there.
It's not. It's not what everybody believes. It's what you believe.
Yeah,
it's what you and your small
kind of
group
like
of
listening to these
believe.
people and go like, yeah, no, that's not at all right. And it's like you're even misquoting the Bible a little bit there, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a show that Brad Jones, the Cinema Snob, does called DVDR Hell, and every once in a while he's taking a look at a couple of overly religious scare movies. Like there was one called Rock, It's Your Decision, that was made, I think, in the late to mid 80s, where it was, trying to claim that, rock music is evil, it's a tool of the devil, and it was just so ridiculously hypocritical, where you're supposed to feel and understand for the main character who originally really likes rock music, but because he's told by his adults and his church minister that, rock music is evil, he just automatically believes it, and then he turns into a complete and utter psychopath, where at the end he's ranting and raving about how rock musicians are evil because some of them are homosexuals, and it just goes on and on and on. And it's just like,
and actually, very few of them are homosexual.
Yeah, and it reminds me.
What's the big deal?
Yeah, and for me, I mean, it just reminds me of something really great that Ron White said once. He said, "Hey, we're all gay, buddy. It's just to what extent are you gay?" Bullshit. I'm not gay. I'm not gay at all. Yeah, you are, and I can prove it. Oh, all right, fine. Prove it. All right, you like porn? Oh, yeah, come on, buddy. You know me. I love porn. You know that. I said, do you only like to watch a scene of two women having sex? No, man, I watch a man and woman make love. Oh, well, do you like the man having a small, half-flaccid penis? No, I like big, hard-throbbing cock.
I did not know that
about myself. Do you like chocolate? Good stuff. But yeah, it's just people. It's 2014. Can we grow up and move on now, please? Can we? No. Some of us still like to live in the dark age. Okay, I'll tell you what. You go off into your own little cut-off part of the world where you have no technology, and you live in a little shack, You have a well for your water. You have a hole in the ground for your toilet, and you can be happy. And we'll live here in modern age, and we just won't bother each other. How about that? Is that good? Is that good?
Yeah, I think some people do that. They're called the Amish.
Yeah, well, so, I mean, from what I understand about the Amish, though, well, some of them, they're not assholes, at least from what I understand.
Well, they're actually perfectly reasonable people.
There are actually reality shows about Amish people that are psychos.
I know. Because there's a reality show for everything now.
Yeah.
They
Why?
even got a reality show about this guy who's getting out of his failing real estate business.
Well, I mean, like we said previously, there is no more reality. Because everything's being televised. So. Hell,
And if you don't think they're, they're probably watching us right now. Well, we know the NSA's listening in on us, so.
Yeah. I would like to imagine if like any government official is listening to this, they're thinking, "Wow, this is some of the most boring, pretentious shit I've ever heard in my life."
Probably.
Wow, shit. Well, no wonder why nobody.
Or it's either like what South Park showed, to where it's just one guy in a big old room, basically jacking off to people pooping.
Yeah. Also, I understand that you're having issues with trying to use our service. Well,
yeah, that was the cable. That was the cable episode.
Yeah, I haven't seen the episode, but just from what I've heard about it, yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, you should. It should. It's actually really funny.
Yeah.
Especially when they all go into the world of the Minecraft thing.
Yeah. I heard about the Minecraft episode. I've never seen it though.
Yeah, that was the same thing. That was the one with the whole cable company thing.
Yeah, I'm not really even sure what was the last full season of South Park that I saw. I mean, I know I saw a season. What was it? The World of Warcraft episode, but I know there have been others like since then. I don't even know what season they're on now. It's got to be what, season 15?
To tell you the truth, I have no idea either. Probably closer to season 20 right now.
God damn.
That is just They've almost been on as long as the Simpsons have.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. So I saw a review the other day. Brad over at the Cinema Snob. Okay, did you hear about Seth MacFarlane's latest movie, A Thousand Ways to Die in the West?
Yeah, A Million Ways to Die in the West. Yeah.
Trailers for it looked really good. And I liked Ted.
I did too. I'm interested in it.
Well, Brad and his friend Brian, they checked it out as part of their midnight screenings stuff. They fucking hated it. They said, and I quote, "It's just like fucking Family Guy, modern Family Guy." And it's like, oh God, really? It's like, yeah. It's like, yeah. But the trailers made it look really funny. It's like, well, that's part of the problem, because from what I understand,
trailer kind of misleads you. I take it.
Apparently, Liam Neeson, who's the villain of the movie. I guess apparently he's only in it for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then he's just gone.
Oh.
And then certain, particular jokes that you see, like, they'll happen, and then they'll just abruptly end. Which sounds a lot like Family Guy.
Yeah.
And then you got Seth MacFarlane's character, who is kind of explaining like every other joke that happens, which I guess I think happens a lot in the modern Family Guy now. I mean, I haven't watched Family Guy in a couple of years now.
Haven't either.
I don't even remember what was the last. I remember one briefly where it started out Peter and Lois were fighting over who gets to use the bathroom first in the morning, and then he goes to use the bathroom in the hallway, and there's an elephant in there, and they're having a conversation about why do we have an elephant living here, and that went on for like a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, wow, this is not funny.
Yeah.
This is really not funny. This is just stupid.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched American Dad in a while either, but at least there were episodes of American Dad where, you know, where I would think like, wow, that was actually legitimately funny, or that was actually clever.
Yeah.
You know,
it's still more or less like that, but it's kind of starting to lean towards the Family Guy thing.
Oh, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Because there were so many times where while I would be watching American Dad, I would just be waiting for a cutaway gag, and they wouldn't do one. And
they haven't done that yet, but they're getting closer and closer and closer to doing it.
Yeah, which for me was actually kind of a relief, and also kind of, you know, pleasant to actually know. It's like, oh, hey, they're not doing a cutaway. Oh, okay, well, that's nice. So, I don't know. And quite a while ago, I was rewatching an old episode on Rage Select where they were doing a full Let's Play of Batman Arkham. And and they were talking about the episode when Quagmire, like he rips into Brian about like the various reasons why he doesn't like him. And one of those reasons was because the episode when Brian had a kid that he really wasn't aware of, and blah blah blah, and about how does Brian, even talk to the kid? Has he even seen him since then? It's like, you know, I went back to that episode, and Quagmire was one of the people who actually suggested to Brian, like, dude, just leave the kid. So
kind of be.
So right there, that's a fucking double standard. So. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, Brian, he is kind of a shitty, hypocritical character.
Well, he used to be. When he first started out, he was just kind of a cynic.
Yeah.
And just as it went on, he just got more and more of a hypocrite.
Oh yeah. I mean,
or like, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God, and then like, literally like, the very next episode, he would be like saying stuff like, well, God's pissed off.
Yeah. Well,
like, wait a minute. You're supposed to be an atheist. You don't believe in God.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what was... there was one specific episode to me where it was... he was doing a rally tour to try to legalize marijuana, and then Lois's dad came to him about how, like, look, if you change your opinion on marijuana, we will publish your book for you. And it was the book that he'd been trying to write for several years, and that it would and that it would have the Oprah sticker on it and all that. And then he did it. He sold out, and he got nothing in return. His book was panned by reviewers. Everybody called it like, wow, like this is the most. If I recall correctly, they said like, wow, this is the worst piece of shit I've ever read in my life.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you know, and you know, and there have been many times where I've kind of wondered, like, I wonder if I was ever offered the deal of a lifetime, but I had to do something I was so heartily against in order to make that happen. But I would probably, you know, get fame and fortune, and I would get to see my dream come true. Would I be able to actually say no? Because I mean, I like to think that deep down, my dignity and my opinion is a lot more important to me than money. But
yeah, until you actually get into that situation, you don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to think I would be able to say, yeah, that sounds really great. I would love to do that, but no.
No.
But yeah,
But in all likelihood, you'd probably be like, yeah, sure, okay.
oh god, I would at least like to think that I would, think about it for a while first.
Yeah, you would probably think about it, but I think overall the almighty dollar would win.
Yeah.
Because that's sadly the society we live in now.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at Wall Street.
Yeah. Like, well, you know what? I'll have you know, my opinion is worth far more than. That is a lot of zeros. You know what? Let me think about it.
How much money was? It's like, how much money was that again?
Yeah, because bear in mind, I mean, the most money I've ever seen in my life was $5,000, and that was a gift from my stepmother's parents.
Yeah.
Because they are rich. They are rich, and that was like the first time in our lives that my brother and my sister and I that we had ever received that much money, and that was only like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And that was because they kind of felt like that they were neglecting us. And so they decided, well, how about we share, just a little bit of our wealth with them? And my first thought was, holy shit, I've never seen this much money in my life. And so I was trying to think very responsibly about what I'm going to do with this money. Well, first thing I did was I took it to my bank and I deposited it. And then I bought a thank you card for them and just wrote, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God, thank you.
Thank you.
And then, just sent that off.
Yeah.
And I think I paid off a couple of debts that I owed, or like whatever it was that I owed, I paid off. Which really wasn't much. It was probably like, oh, I have this dentist bill I'm still paying, or something like that.
Yeah, that's basically what we did with Grandpa's money.
Yeah, I think
all that and put a new roof on our house, which you've seen.
Yeah.
And carpet.
Yeah.
No.
Overall, I don't know what else I bought. I think I know I bought probably a few special things for myself. Like, I think I was going to buy myself that brand new computer, but instead my dad stepped in and he bought it for me, which he didn't have to because I did have the money for it. And then I spent the rest on hookers. I'm not joking.
Of course you did.
Well, because come on, I mean, nobody's really going to sleep with this for free. I mean, come on. Yes, it is the most horrible joke I can say, but god damn it, it's true.
Yeah.
It's sad but true. God, that's terrible. But I don't care.
Yes, it is.
I don't care. That's my life. And it's my life, and I can sing here with my ass wide open. Oh no!
Now he's going to get into rush. People, run!
I am Creed. I really am God. I can't fly, but I can kill. Well, I think we have rambled on long enough with whatever random ridiculous subject it was that we were initially talking about. I think we had a good
I'm not exactly sure what it is what we first started talking about.
I know I was rambling about a video that I was making, and then you talked a little bit about your accidental Blu-ray purchase, and then that later somehow led us into talking about religion for a little while.
And then we ended up talking about money for some reason.
Money, and then me getting laid, and then just utter sadness.
Yep.
But that's okay, because what would the show be without utter randomness developing and then slowly spiraling into complete and utter sadness?
Yeah.
And failure and regret and eventual suicide and perhaps commitment. And then, okay. I'm gonna stop now. All right, everybody. That was the other people. I hope that you've enjoyed. Please let us know what you guys thought. And what are your thoughts on religion as well? Are you religious at all? Are you agnostic? Are you atheist? Do you
feel free to share your opinions with us? Just be respectful about it.
Yeah. You don't need to
be an asshole.
You don't need to be a dick. You don't need to be an ass. Because I've gotten a few odd comments lately on some of my other videos that I know I told you about. There was that one where somebody left a comment on my Metal Gear video where they just randomly said something like, "Is this the guy that shot up Columbine?"
Yeah.
And I know, obviously, they were trying to make a horribly inappropriate joke. I didn't think it was funny, so I just removed it.
Yeah.
Because normally I do have a rule about how, like, well, if they're not being overly horribly offensive, just throwing out the word, fag or nigger or anything like that, I won't, delete them. But if you're just going to be horribly offensive just for the sake of being horribly offensive, I'm not really going to stand for it. So
nobody likes that.
Especially me. And I just didn't think it was funny. So, all right. Well, anyway, this has been The Other People. Hope that you guys have enjoyed, and we will see you guys next week. Say good night, Andy.
Good night, Andy.
See you, folks.